Hello, we go back to the simpler and certainly more affordable this week. Keep watching. Yes, it's another ukulele review for you. This is your summary video review. Check the link below for the full detail review and all the specs. Thanks again to those who donate through the Patreon or other ways to keep the site going. And why not consider subscribing? Hit the button down there and the bell up there. You know what to do. Okay, I'm pleased to have this brand back on the website. The brand is called VTAB. I first looked at them back in about 2017 when they just launched. They're a Chinese company, American company making ukes in China. And they were pretty remarkable, the ones I looked at in 2017. I gave them a big accolade as my favourite brand of that year because they were making things that were incredibly well finished, incredibly well put together for impossibly low prices. Very, very good value. Back then, you could only order them direct from VTAB. They didn't have a distribution network. Things have changed. I've not seen much of them since. But they do have distributors now, and this one has come on loan to me with thanks to Red Chili Audio in Leeds in the UK, who are the distributors in the UK for VTAB and put them into ukulele stores. So this is a bricks and mortar store instrument, not an Amazon instrument. And this is the VTAB EL-55D Concert. The D there stands for the colour of this one. This is a dark stain. It comes in a range of other colours, which I'll come on to in a moment, and that changes the letter designation. It's the EL-55 series. And the EL-55 series is pretty much at the entry level for VTAB now, I think, and it's made from all laminate mahogany. As I say, it comes in these different colours. There's like a beetroot red, a sort of grey blue, steel blue, and a natural. I'm not usually a fan of colours, but I've had a look at them, and because they're stains and because they're more of a wash on the wood and they're not really super bright colours, I think they look quite classy actually. This one is just a dark stain on the mahogany, makes it look like it's made of walnut, and I think it's really quite pretty. Okay, sure, mahogany is never the most interesting wood to look at. You've got two pieces on the top, sides and back, but there is kind of a bit of shimmer going on in that, as you can see in the wood grain. It's not bad at all, actually. I really like it. We'll come on to the finish in a moment. The bridge, which I put a sneak peek up on Facebook and people thought was huge, it isn't actually huge. It's a through body design made of walnut with this sort of funky shaping, which I quite like, actually. The through body design, you put the strings through there, you pull them out the sound hole, tie a knot on or a little bead, and you pull them back. The saddle is compensated, made from bone. Now what I'll say, the finish on this is absolutely excellent. It's finished in an open pore satin on top of that stain. There are no issues whatsoever. This is very much what my first recollection of VTAB was. They really, really were well put together and well finished. And this is no exception. Yeah, it's really simple. There's no other decoration, but it's really, really well done, and I do like it a lot. Looking inside, really tidy in there as well. You've got notched linings, thin braces, absolutely no glue or mess. And that top for laminate is really thin, which means it's really resonant, like that. Okay, up to the neck, this is made of mahogany. It's in three pieces. The joints are quite well hidden by the stain. There's one here a bit more obvious, but there's one down at the heel, which is really hard to see. It's fairly shallow in profile up at the nut, but only average at 35mm, very much a Chinese width, 35mm 28 G2A for a concert scale. It's alright, I'd like it a little bit wider. Topped with the walnut fingerboard, which is nice and even in colour, and you'll see it's also edge bound with these black strips that go right round the end, and that hides the fret ends and means that none of them are sharp. You get 1, 2, a very standard, 14 to the body, 15, 16, 17, 18 in total. Pearl dots face out at 5, 7, 10, double at the 12th, one at the 15th. Thankfully, they're on the side with white dots. That's all right, all decent. Beyond that, bone nut. Very simple shaped headstock, not much more I can say about it. It's not faced in anything. The VTAB logo there is pyro etched. It's all right. The tuners, again, unremarkable. Sealed chrome, unbranded gears. smallish buttons, metal buttons too, rather than plastic. They're alright. Finishing it off, Aquila strings, 2 strap buttons, and a pretty functional padded gig bag. But the real thing here is this comes in at $79.99, so really quite cheap, and yeah, about on the same sort of par with some of the Carlos and Ohanas, but this is concert scale. You probably pay that much for a soprano with some of the others. The build, though, and the finish, as I say, is really, really tidy, like other VTABs have been, which I keep saying. But it is really, really tidy. And what it first reminded me of, in terms of its quality and in its play, which we'll come on to, was a brand called Baton Rouge, which I think are really, really good, like the Baton Rouge Sun Concert. This is considerably cheaper than the Baton Rouge at 80 quid, and they'll probably get discounted down below that. I think it's a really, really good price for a nice looking, extremely well finished, laminate bodied concert. Let's have a play. First of all, it's really light. It's perfectly balanced. I've got absolutely no problems with the way it holds. Get it up to pitch, or rather check the tuning with the strobe tuner. Now, what I'll say, that resonance comes through because it's got great volume. Really, really loud. Really, really loud. Absolutely no problems being heard with this one in your club. The sustain is alright, not brilliant, but not terrible either. And whilst I'm not, not waxing lyrical, it's a laminate-bodied instrument. I don't think it sounds too boxy. You couldn't say it's got huge amounts of character, but I really like the sound of it. Jangly. That's really alright, Nice pick. That's quite pretty. 80 quid. This is a really, really good little instrument, It's not going to set the world on fire on its looks, although I do really quite like the purple one, which is saying something for me who doesn't like coloured ukuleles. But it's well made, it's really well finished, it's extremely well priced, the volume is great, it's a nice sound. This is what's not to like, really. 80 quid. Yeah, gets recommended this one. Thanks again to Red Chili for loaning me this one. This wasn't what I was expecting. This is a good little instrument, and I think you should be proud to be carrying this as part of your lines. Recommended. Back next week. Don't know what's coming next. I'm all over the place with reviews. I've got boxes lined up in the hall. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.